Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? This is Marcos Villegas. Welcome to the Fight Up TV live chat. Doing something a little bit different today, testing out different software. I apologize for not giving you guys a heads up earlier. Usually we have this scheduled out a day in advance, but I had to do a shoot for Fox today for this upcoming pay-per-view fight with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola that we have coming up on Fox on April 24th on pay-per-view. I had to go in studio and record a few things on the fight. Iceman, what's up, bro? What's going on? Thank you for joining us, everybody. Go ahead and click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't to already. We're going to talk about a few things on this live chat. I'm doing this new software. Let me know how you guys like it. First Pelon, last Pelon. Shout out from Omaha, Nebraska. What's up, man? Cornhuskers. What's going on? Where you can see your guys' chats now. It's a little bit more, I want to say, friendly, I guess, like user friendly. There it is. Boom. Look at all these like weird, not weird, but like all these new little graphics that we have on here. And then I'm able to highlight your guys' chats on here on the chat. So what's up, everybody? I hope you guys had a great weekend. Marcus and Yair will be joining us soon as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and trying to get a special guest on here. Hopefully they respond on time. But let's go ahead and get to the chats, the questions, and all that stuff. Brian Aguilar, what's up, bro? Any tips for boxing? Shout from Tampa. What's up, Tampa? What do you mean, bro? Like tips? What are you talking about? Like what kind of tips do you want, Doc? Let me know. Presidential Luke, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. What up? What up? Dahone reporting. What's up? NJAP, what's up, man? You a G. What's up? What's going on? Let's see here. GDGD. Doesn't mean anything when there's no date and venue. They are just announcing this to try to save face because multiple suggest that Fury might be obligated to fight Wilder. Arbitration. So from what, obviously from what we've all read, the fight is agreed upon. They have 30 days to sort out a site and where they want the fight to take place at. So that's happening right now. But it's not official, obviously, because there hasn't been an official release from the companies saying that they have made the fight official. Like the setup, bro, you consider Twitch. I have no idea how to use Twitch. I don't know if Twitch would be better to do these types of live chats. Let me know if it is. Like I said, I'm looking into like improving the live chats and making them a better experience for you guys. This new software, I don't think it allows me to get calls from you guys, which is a bummer, but I'm testing it out. I think what I'm going to do with the calls is whoever does the super chats will get access to the number to be able to call in to the show to just talk boxing and talk to us. I'm going to go ahead and get Marcus and Yair up in here. I'm going to send them a message right now. In the meantime, guys, smash that like button for me, please. Subscribe to the channel as well. Where's Yair? There we are. Come into the live chat. Boom. All right. Let me get back to your guys' comments over here. Cidic Vicious, what's good, bro? No, man, just a Monday, regular Monday. I had to go in, like I mentioned, to do some work for Fox. And let me tell this guy. Just emailed you. Okay, I think Yair is in here. Yair was actually over in Texas for the Roman fight, so we're gonna go ahead and talk to him to see how it was being up there and how he saw the fight. Brian Baker, Andy Ruiz looking good, looking strong. He is, man. He's freaking Quadzilla. He's been working out. Weed Bands, I like the name, bro. Let's go. NJAP, congrats on the podcast setup. You've been hustling, bro. Stay up, doggy. Thank you, bro. I don't know. I consider this like a live chat. I wouldn't consider it a podcast, really. And like, Oh, hey, I do want to let you guys know that all my videos that I do video interviews, the in-depth video interviews, are in audio form now. They are available on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on Pandora, and iHeart Music. So please do me a big favor, guys. Go over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review and subscribe to get the interviews that I do. They're unedited. Um, they're the full interviews over here on the YouTube channel. Obviously, we cut them up into little clips, but check us out as the interviews now are on podcast form. Yair is in the back waiting. We'll get him on right now. I want to get to some of your guys' comments real quick. Chain with Ice, what's up, bro? And Segura, what's up? What's up? What's going on? Let's see here. Let's see here. That's what I mean. Haha, the audio stuff. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. With that being said, Hurricane Hank, what's up, man? Hurricane Hank, you've been on this for a while, dog. Wilder's going to retire soon. I hope not, bro. I hope not. I still feel that Wilder has a lot left in him, and I think people shouldn't be counting him out. You shouldn't ever be counting a guy out that has tremendous punching power like a Deontay Wilder. Like, never, ever should be counting a guy like that out. All right, Yair is in the stream. Yair is in the
What's
house.
up, bro?
What up, bro? What up? Everybody,
What up?
what's up to Yair? Give him a thumbs up. Give him a like. Yair, where can the people follow you at?
JMart1018, Twitter and Instagram. I
There
do
you
follow
go.
back. Simple.
There you
I
go.
do follow back. So I'm excited, bro. Excited to chat again. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Oh, and then we got Marcus waiting in the wings. I think we're gonna let Marcus. We're gonna let you in about a minute or so. Actually, you know what? We're gonna try this out. Let's see if it works. Marcus, welcome.
Oh, yeah. What's good?
All right, we got Team Fight Hub right here. We got the Triforce.
Full effect. What's up, Marcus?
Full effect.
My favorite guy, Yair. What's up, dog?
What's good, homie?
Real deal, homie. Yeah.
That's good.
I love it.
How you been? How you been? How's it going?
You know, man, just trying to maintain, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, looking for the day we can all come back together and create greatness, broski. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's actually getting crazy over here in Texas because, you know, since the government opened up, so it's just like everybody to themselves. And it's not like a lot of this. I think this just defined, you know, the free. I mean, not the freedom. Like, everybody just needed that. Oh, it's gonna be 100%. Everything's gonna open. Everybody's like, well, we're still doing it here. I know. Marcos is always telling me, hey, how's it going over there? I was like, bro, it's pretty bad. I was like, people are just not caring.
Yeah, you know. If you guys do or do not know, Yair was at the Roman Gonzalez fight over the weekend. Yair lives in Texas, so you know I'm curious to get just your general thoughts, bro. Like, all right, so is like Texas like every man for themselves right now? Is it like how that meme went with the Hunger Games? Like may what is it? I don't even know how to say it. May
let the odds be in your favor.
Yeah, may the odds forever be in your favor. Is that how it really is right now?
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of crazy because some businesses still require to you know, for you to wear a mask, but then you know you have the people that are gonna be like, no, like, you know, the government already said everything, it's open up. I don't have to wear a mask, and there's just a lot more of that going on. And then you go to restaurants, you go to gas stations, the grocery, you still see people without their mask that they just don't care. It's just, I mean, you know, we've talked about it, just don't care. And then even at the stadium on this past Saturday at the American Airlines, you just saw people being free and not wearing their masks and just not caring, or having hanging it just from the side of the ear, and that was it. So, I mean, and now that apparently there's a rumor going around that in the next few months they're gonna do like a trial and error to see how they're going to do for the Canelo fight, because the TDLR, Texas license, whatever, who handles all the combat sports, they're saying that they might even do 100% capacity at all the stadiums. So that might also just free everybody. Even Marcos, when you were here for the Spence Danny Garcia, you would see just people not even wearing, not even caring, or just nobody really cares anymore.
All out the window, all out the window. But all right. It's interesting to see because you're one of the few people that I talk to a lot that's in Texas. So I was kind of curious as to like what everybody was thinking there. If like they agreed with the governor, if like they're just pretty much over it right now, or they're just kind of like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's just trying to do this to make us forget about the whole power crisis that happened a few weeks back.
I think it's more of the other side of like, let's just forget about it. And then you have people like me who are like, let's still kind of wear. I wear it no matter what, even though, you know what happened to me a few months ago that I got COVID. So I wear it no matter what. I mean, it's just simple little rules that I think, anyways, I don't want to get too much on that, but it's just simple little rules.
So you were there at the fight, bro. Let me know about the atmosphere there. Like, how was it there? How many fans were there? How was watching this fight card in the main event?
So the total attendance was right below 4,000. I think it was 3,800 something, close to 3,900. So it was right below that.
Such a shame because this fight in normal times would have been sold out, packed. Like if they had it in Texas, if they had it in LA, lucky 4,000 people though.
Well, Eddie Hearn said at the end of the press conference, he said, we're going to do this third one before the year ends, and we're more than likely going to do it in LA, because he wants to do it there because there's just a lot, the population, Marcos, you are both from California, that it's going to fill up with more fans once LA allows to have more fans there. But yeah, even though there was 4,000 people, I'm going to tell you, like, it was pretty even. And the Mexican side of the people, there's always more Mexicans, Americans, more raza that were supporting Gallo Estrada. But dude, it was like very even, and it was loud. Like, it was very loud. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. And I think I even asked Eddie at the end. I said, Eddie, were you surprised how the fans were just so loud? And he's like, man, I said, I'm telling you, like, it felt like it was a full stadium. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was just full. It was kind of disappointing, the result. I'm sure y'all can kind of agree. I honestly would have said at least would have been a draw, but I had Chocolatito Gonzalez winning that fight slightly, but a draw would have been nice. But we can go more in depth of what we've heard about recently. But I would have been more satisfied with a draw, to be honest with you. But I mean, I think Gallo Estrada was even more like, oh wow, I won,
So you guys on here on the chat, let us know on your comments right now. Who did you see winning the fight? Did you feel that Roman won? Did you feel that Gallo won? Did you feel that it was a draw? Let us know right now. So help us out, guys. Give this a like right now, and as you see the little ticker, like and subscribe. Marcus,
what up?
Who won the fight?
Out of Chocolatito and Estrada?
Yeah.
I'm not too ticked about the result, bro. To be honest, I thought that I wouldn't have been ticked off with a draw or a close decision for Estrada. I thought that Chocolatito did well. I know that he came on late. But to me, man, I mean, you just go back. I watched the fight again today, and I feel like out of the two, for the majority of the bout, he was eating the cleaner shots. Chocolatito, his gift is his curse, bro. Like, he throws a lot of punches. He throws a ton of punches, and he lands, but he lands like this. Boom, bam, pop, boom, 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 boom. Like, that's cool, but, when the other dude was hitting him, he was moving him back. And I was even listening to the audio of the shots themselves. Go back and listen to the shots, bro. When he's getting hit, it's thumping and thudding. And when he's hitting, you can't hear anything. I know that he was landing shots or whatever, but not ticked about the result, honestly, dog.
Something happened. We lost.
Oh, my guy,
yeah, we lost Yair. Get back in here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to it.
And the judges don't get to rewatch. And the right guy won.
So I'm gonna get to some of the comments here of the people on here right now. There's Yair. Where'd you go, bro?
It just took me out. Sorry. I had one job. It just took me out.
Okay, no worries. Gilbert A says Chocolatito got robbed. Rob says he had it 116 to 112 for Choco. Octavio draw all the way. Estrada 7-5. One Boxing King, what's up, bro? He says Roman Salvador feels that Gallo won. See another one for Choco. Jesus says that Gallo won, no robbery, split for Choco.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Roman versus Estrada ones were 10-10 even, close rounds. Several swing rounds, 7-5 either way kind of thing. Something that you were mentioning, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Grim Reaper. The white scorecards are what annoys everyone. And let me touch on this. Seeing that I score the fights for TV for Fox, I don't know how you could come up with a scorecard like the one that we saw. What was it, like the 117 to
117,
111?
111, yeah.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I
What you doing?
just that's I think that's a 9-3 fight. So
Right.
9 rounds to Gallo Estrada. There's just no way. How do you see that, dude? These were close, back and forth rounds, and rightfully that judge was suspended by the WBA, like GDDD says. The judge was suspended, and good. I think when a judge gives a preposterous card like that, it should be reviewed.
Absolutely.
And that they should be put on little timeout to kind of have the commission ask them, yo, like, let's rescore the fight and let's see what are you looking at to get to these scores. I was watching at home. I wasn't scoring with a keen eye like I usually do, but I got the sense when I was watching the fight that Roman was winning by a point or two, and by the end of the fight, I felt that Roman probably, in my opinion, squeezed it out one round or 2 rounds. It was close, and I wasn't mad at the decision because I know it could have gone either way, and it was a very, very close fight. But me, in my personal opinion, I felt that that Roman should have won the fight. Chain with ice, Marcos. I know how you can come up with a 117, 111 scorecard. You give Estrada each round, he landed a punch.
Yeah.
Dewey Jones, Gonzalez took too much time off. Whole Estrada worked to the beginning of and the end. That's actually a good point, bro.
That's the truth. He was busier.
The activity. Sometimes judges do like that. Case in point, Sean Porter fights. Sean Porter fights are extremely difficult to score because of that, because of how active Sean Porter is in the rounds. He's constantly working, and sometimes it works for him, but also sometimes it works against him, where because he's just working, it kind of the judges start wanting to notice something impactful, something that really grabs their attention, and they could skew it the other way. Gilbert, Choco got robbed the same way they did with Rosado when he fought Jacobs. Yeah, Rosado won that fight, man. Rosado won that fight.
Well, the only reason why I'm laughing is because of the announcer from Pennsylvania or from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he must have got yelled at that night, man. Oh my god.
Yeah,
from Pennsylvania, New York.
Jeez.
One job, homie.
The highest of highs, and then right away.
But Marcos, did you see that tweet that was going around about that judge that it was because of they were I don't know if it's even trying to do a controversy, but
because he's from Venezuela and because Roman supports the
political
socialist government or whatever.
Yeah, so
what? Honestly, bro,
could that also affect it? I mean, I'm not trying to get too much into that, but
obviously that it's unfounded. It's just a claim. We shouldn't dig too much into it. But obviously everybody comes in to anything with perceived biases. Obviously, when you are a judge that's being paid for by a commission, you are trained to not be biased. You are trained to come into it with zero leanings towards one side or the other. So I would hope for the integrity of the sport that he didn't have that bias, because then that really, takes a dump on what the sport is, and really you take a dump on the fighters, not giving them a fair shake because you have a bias against that person already coming into the fight. So I would hope not. And like I said, it doesn't make sense digging into something like that. That's, it's just, a thing that someone put out there. Hurricane Hankster. I love this dude's name, Hurricane Hank, with the picture of Balrog. That's so boss. There needs to be a set criteria on how to fight as judge. None of that to the judge's discretion crap. Well, there is a set criteria, bro.
Yeah.
There is a set criteria.
Effective punching, ring generalship, right?
Yep. Keep going, Marcus.
Right. Effective aggressiveness, right?
Defense.
And what else is there? Jim, back to you, right? Like,
so what I was taught, and obviously for you guys that are wondering, with the judging, I took a workshop course with the WBC, and I was certified through them through their judging program, and they go through a criteria that is what Marcus explained, but it's called 3D judging, where the primary thing that they're looking at, the main thing that a judge looks for in these fights is clean, effective punching. So what is clean and effective punching? Well, clean and effective punching is punches that are being landed in the scoring zones that are clean. Clean means you see the punch, the head rocks back. That's a clean punch to the face, to the body. What is effective? What does it mean to be effective with your punches? Well, that goes a little subjective, and they try to really clear that up. What's the point of a fighter when he goes into a fight? And you think, well, to win, obviously, but what are they trying to do there inside the ring? Each fighter, every time they step in there, they're trying to hurt the other dude. They're trying to hurt the other dude so they could win. So that's how they're seeing effective punches. Effective punches to the judges means damaging punches that are meant to do damage to your opponents. So that's the main thing they're looking for. Obviously, they're looking for ring generalship, but what does that mean? What ring generalship means, it doesn't always mean the guy that's pushing the pace forward. That's not always what it means. What their interpretation of ring generalship is the ability of fighter A to control where the fight is happening and dictate where in the ring they want the action to happen. That is being a general. That a general directs his troops and puts them in positions where they want the action to play out because it's advantageous for them, whether it be the high ground. I'm making a Star Wars reference there. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. That's really what that means. So because a guy could be pressing forward and not be effective because they're chasing the other guy, and the other guy is choosing what spots he wants the action to take place because it's advantageous to him. That's not ring generalship. Ring generalship is being effective with coming forward. You're coming forward, you're cutting the ring off, and you're giving the other guy one choice, which is advantageous to you, to where he has to bite down on his mouthpiece and exchange with you. So, that's really what it means and what the judges are looking for. Obviously, defense is one of them. A lot of judges don't place as much emphasis on that because according to the workshop that I took, at the end of the day, the fighter's MO is to win the fight by hurting the other opponent so that they can't hurt him and to win the fight. You win the fight by beating the crap out of the guy, and obviously there's guys that are boxers that aren't blessed with power. So how, is that now not skewed to them? Does that give them an unfair advantage? Well, that's where you got to be subjective too. And you go back to the clean punching. It's clean and effective punching. And that's the primary thing what the judges are looking at. From what I've noticed in my experience, the judges now, especially the judges in California and in Texas, like the guy that comes forward and throws power punches. That's from what I've seen and I've noticed, which to me is troubling, that they don't place as much emphasis on a jab being effective, which to me, like, even if you look at it in an amateur bout, freaking jab is what wins you the fight. Like that's how you're getting all your scoring points, is through the jab. But I have noticed that Anthony Cortez, Marcos, your $1,400 stimulus check came in early already. I don't know, bro. I haven't checked my account. Hey, everybody, give a like for that stimulus check. Give a like for the stimulus check. Let's go. Let's go. Yair, you talking to the people. Did you get a chance to talk to anybody after the fight? To talk to any fans and see if they felt that Roman won or that they felt that like Gallo won. He got booed. Was the booing coming from the Nicaraguan fans or coming from the Mexican fans?
I think it was even.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it was even. Yeah, it was pretty even. People were like shocked that even Gallo won. Even leaving the stadium, people were just like, "No, there's no way that." They're like, "No, he didn't win." Like a lot of people, like I said, like what Marcus is saying, like, I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying the least could have been a draw. If Gonzalez would have won it, I would have been like, okay, but a draw would have been, sufficient. But a lot of people that I talked to, even leaving, and even the people all around, they're like, no, that there's no way Gallo won. He did not win that fight. Even the fans, that was, everybody was just almost in the same box talking about Gallo really didn't win that fight. Gonzalez did. And some were like, well, it could have been a draw. So when you have more of those both conversations, you're like, yeah, it really couldn't go more for the other fighter who won it. But like I tell you, like even Gallo Estrada's body language coming to the press conference and even talking to him shortly after, he was just more like, I kind of know I didn't really win it clearly. And that's what when we asked him, or when I asked him clearly, I said, hey, is that third fight going to be in demand? Are you going to want? They said, yeah, you know what? He actually deserves the third fight. And I said, yeah, I mean, you're 1-1, and it wasn't that clear that, there was an evident winner. So, yeah, even a lot of people in the media, they were like, oh, yeah. Nicaraguan media that came out from Nicaragua, they were more like, we don't think that you won it. He's like, yeah, no, I know. So, yeah, I mean, it was pretty even.
After the fight, he said he felt that it was a draw, that he wants to give Roman a rematch. I'm going to get to Jeremiah's thing here because he brought up an interesting thing. What's the difference between Mayweather pot-shotting and Chocolatito's pot-shotting? Why not give credit to Chocolatito? Win by points is win by points, and that's something that, Marcus, you touched on. When Choco threw punches, you're not seeing a head snap back. It looks like it's not effective. When Mayweather would land a punch, you knew it landed, and it landed clean. Yeah, he wasn't the biggest puncher, but that's what clean and effective punching is. It's a clear punch that makes your head go back, and that's a power punch. And that could be an issue with the littler guys. I think their fights are harder to judge because they're throwing so many freaking punches, and you don't get that effect because they're little guys. They don't have the power that bigger guys in the higher weight classes have.
And also, the thing about that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, brother Yair.
No, you're good, brother.
What I noticed, man, about Chocolatito, the difference for me between him and Mayweather is, like Marcos touched on, number one, his pot shotting was not surgical. It was not bam, landing and get out the way. He would do a pot shot with the right hand or the left. He throws a lot of the straight left hands and everything. That's cool. But the thing is, then my guy eats 5 in a row. He was eating like 3 and 4, and then the dude would move off. Like it's nowhere near as close to Mayweather. He's eating 4 and 5 punches at a time, 6 or 7 times around. That it's not refutable. Just go back and look. To me, it looked like Chocolatito lost a step. He looked like he lost a step versus the young Estrada. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like an older guy who still can bop, but he lost a step. He looks like he was going downhill versus him. Yeah, he hurt him at the end and everything, but it didn't look the same. Let's be honest. It didn't look the same.
He didn't look the same like in his 2 previous fights where he fought here in Texas. When he fought, I can't even pronounce his name right. When he fought under the Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas, I believe that's the one where he fought. He didn't look this. Yeah, I mean, I could say he lost a quick of a step. And what I also can agree with you, Marcus, is that when he was throwing, they weren't too effective. And when Gallo was landing, he was being a little more effective. I mean, so it's just a lot of back and forth. How that fight is, but thankfully, like Eddie Hearn said, he's like, there's going to be a third one no matter what. But then he said, the WBC has mandatory Gallo Estrada, so we're going to have to deal with that first, and then secondly, we're going to move forward so we can make the third fight happen. So
yeah, he has to have that fight with Sorong Vasai.
Yes.
Gallo does, because that's his next mandatory. So expect that fight, and
Mhm.
I think eventually we will see a third fight, but I wouldn't count Sor Rungvisai out, because that guy has tremendous power. He fought the day before last Friday, got a knockout, just beat the crap out of the guy, and he in that fight with Gallo. I don't know why he chose to not fight Southpaw for like a majority of the fight. He was losing like every single round, and then the second he switched his stance and fought Southpaw is when he started lining up Gallo with like some good punches, and he started winning rounds. So, uh, they better take him seriously and not think the Gallo's going to be able to easily outbox Rungvisai, because I don't think Rungvisai is going to approach this fight with Gallo the same way he approached the other fight that they had in LA, and I think he's going to go lefty like he should have from the very beginning of that round. And you know what? We could be talking about Rungvisai versus Roman at the end of the year instead of Gallo, because like I mentioned, he has a hell of a chance to go and beat Gallo Estrada. Samuel says, Choco, Gallo, Song Rungvisai, Quadras are the true four kings of this generation. I know people are making the lightweights, Teo, Devin, Ryan, and who's the other one?
Tank.
And Tank as the four kings. My man Dan Canobio calls them the four princes. They're not princesses, princes. I don't want people trying to take my freaking words out of context. And I think rightfully so, because
that's appropriate.
They have to all fight each other, and then they can be crowned. So I like how he titles them that. Kim is watching us live. Kim is an integral part of Fight Hub. We love Kim. So hi, Kim. Kim is tuning in.
Kim, bro.
We'll get Kim up on here on one of these streams.
Kim, I still got your keychain that you gave me in Vegas last February, Kim. Every day.
So Yair is in Texas, like I mentioned. He will be covering the Virgil Ortiz versus Maurice Hooker fight. I wanted to touch on that.
Nice.
On that fight, Yair, you have seen Virgil in person in camps prior. You're the most familiar with him out of all of us. How do you see this fight with Hooker, and how do you think that they're going to approach this fight with Maurice Hooker?
It's it's going to be a very interesting fight. There's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be answered, and by the end of the night, it's going to be obvious where Virgil will be able to stand in the welterweight division. I've seen Maurice Hooker fight in person before he came, I guess, to this type of level. And I've seen Virgil since, he was an amateur and in person. And I will say that the advantage that Virgil has, even though Maurice is a little bit longer in reach, a little bit more experience as he's a former champion per se. I will say that Maurice Hooker's advantage, like I said, would be using his jabs, staying in the outside. That would be what would help him the most. But I just honestly see Virgil winning this. And I'm not going to say easy, because it's going to be a hard fight. But I see Virgil's IQ that is going to surpass everything that Maurice Hooker is going to have. If Maurice Hooker just stays in the outside, he uses his reach, like I said, it could possibly go at 12, and still Virgil will win a unanimous decision. But he wants to stay in their phone booth for Virgil. I mean, Virgil has a very heavy hand, and even feeling his hand, I mean, he hits like a 160-pounder. And I mean, anybody will tell you that. Even all the fighters that he spars and in all the interviews, they'll say Virgil hits very hard. Even seeing him in camp before he left here, going to California, it's from like 2 o'clock to like 5:30, 6 o'clock, just nonstop. And I would tell him, I was like, dude, I'm really amazed. I know I would hear the stories, but now seeing in person, he's like, bro, this is nothing compared.
Mike Jones.
But
Mike Jones. Mike Jones. Bro.
Dude, he's tripping, homie.
Come on, Mike Jones. Come on, dog.
I would tell him, like, man, I'm really surprised how's, your work ethic. He's like, this is not even anything compared to how I'm in training camp. And even, you see the interviews with Virgil saying, oh, I'm about to go to camp right now. I'm about to go work out again. It's like 10 in the night, or it's like Sunday night, 10 in the night. So I think that dedication, the strict plan that even his father puts up, because his father is very, I've told you, Marcos, that his father is very, very high IQ in boxing. He tells you a lot of little things. And I want to see if I can talk to him here this week when we're in the fighter meetings, because he will tell you what exactly he studies a fighter. He'll watch a fight of a fighter maybe 10, 12 times. The first round, he sees it. How's their movement? When they throw a jab, they go more to the left, to the right. Once he throws a punch, does he close his eyes? What is the pattern that he does with his hands every time he's moving? What is the pattern that he does going back? How's his head movement every time he's moving to an angle? So his dad is very, very, like I tell you, like I could sit with him and he would just throw a lot of darts of information. So I think his father being a crucial part of being next to him is going to help out a lot. So I love both fighters just because I've seen them come from Maurice Hooker
from they're both from Texas. They're both from
Dallas, and
yeah.
Maurice is probably like 6 years older. Maurice is kind of close to my age. I'm turning 31 in May.
I want to touch on this real quick, Yair. Sorry to cut you off there. Gangsters Playground. Virgil's going after Bud Crawford next under a mandatory request with the WBO if Sean Porter pulls out of the fight. We've seen that there's been talk from Sean. I want to go ahead. I'm going to try this out, see if it works. I'm going to share a clip of what Virgil shared with us in an interview that I did with him over the week. And let me see if it works. Am I able to do this? Is this working? Are we seeing this?
You got it. You just have to turn up the volume a little bit on it.
Oh, hey, we got to get paid. Hold on. There we go.
It only makes sense. There's like, I'm piecing everything together. It's just all the pieces fit.
Man, does that excite you as much as it excites me? Because that's a tremendous freaking fight.
It does, yeah, it does, and I'm really excited for this fight.
At this point,
Can't hear it though.
Virgil,
I can barely hear it.
You can barely hear it?
Yeah, it's not loud enough. It's super low.
Maybe it's because you got your headphones, Marcos.
Maybe.
You're ready to go immediately into a Crawford fight, or you would still prefer maybe one more against?
No, let me pause it. And like I mentioned, guys, I'm still playing around with this new software. Your headphones are preventing the sound. Okay. Yeah. Let me unplug. Well, no, that's an audio issue. Okay, let me see if I can fix that issue really quick, guys. I'm
glad you're using StreamYard. Remember I told you about it? It's so much fun, bro. I love StreamYard. I love it. Like, you can even put GIFs. You can even, the background right now, you can even change it to the Fight Hub logo. You
that's funny. Look at Jeremiah. We're all hearing like Holyfield with no ears. Marcos be like, watch, don't listen. Yes, watch, don't listen. Watch, don't listen. I have no idea. Hold on. If I unplug the headphones here, and bear with me, guys. Like I said, this is a new software that I'm using. I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest. Okay, I can't mute my mic. You know what? I'm just gonna scrap it. I'm gonna have to scrap it because if I cut my audio, it's gonna cut my mic. And
right.
Then it's gonna go all crazy. But what I'll do is I'll drop the link for you guys, so you guys can check it out after the live stream, so you can see. Pretty much, I asked Virgil, hey, what makes you feel like you're ready to fight a Terrence Crawford? A lot of you guys would be like, bro, what are you doing? Why do you want to fight this guy, Terrence Crawford? No one wants to fight this guy. He's too good right now. And Virgil said, like, hey, man, I'm more than capable of beating a guy like Crawford. Same thing people said about Teofimo Lopez. There's no way you're going to be able to beat Lomachenko. No freaking way. And look what he did. I want to be able to challenge myself. So I commend Ortiz for that's the type of gusto I like to see from fighters, bro. Or bros. Honestly, dude. I want to see these guys challenge themselves as opposed to how much money did this guy make in this fight? Like stuff like that. Like, nah, man. Like, go out and fucking own your ish.
About it, right? Yeah.
But not just because Virgil's here from the same area as I am, but I'm telling you, like, his IQ, his ring IQ is extremely high. Like, he's naturally, he's very, very smart. He's a smart kid. Like, sitting and talking with him, like when you've talked to him or even talking to him aside for boxing, He's a very smart kid. I mean, his dad would even tell me, like for some classes in high school, he told him you can't do too many high classes because boxing was just keeping him busy. So he's a very smart kid. And when I talked to his other coach, Hector, he's like the things that he does when you teach him something new, he catches on real quick and he can show you that in a ring. Can he beat Terrence Crawford? Many people will say no, but like you just perfectly said, Teofimo, people will call Teofimo crazy, but I strongly believe it. I strongly believe it, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. And people say, "Oh, you're just talking about Virgil," but Maurice Hooker too, man. I really enjoy Maurice Hooker. Like I told you, he came from staying in A-Count, being on CBS 33 local promotion. They built him up, and he came literally from nothing. Maurice Hooker, he just came from nothing as well, but he worked very hard to get where he's at. So, I mean, it's going to be a great fight. I think his dad quoted, "There hasn't been two top Texas or Dallas fighters fighting in a car like this in years." So boxing's in for a treat on this Saturday. So I'm really excited for this fight. It's gonna answer a lot of questions for the welterweight division for Virgil and Maurice Hooker.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I don't think Maurice Hooker's a legit 47 guy, number one. I think that he's a good opponent on paper for young Ortiz, but if something doesn't change for Hooker, this isn't going to be a fun weekend, bro. Honestly, like
if he does what he did with Jose Ramirez, yeah,
it's going to be a fun weekend. Listen, and let me go on the record of telling y'all now that if somehow you put young Ortiz in with Ramirez, he would gobble Ramirez up too. Young Ortiz is the real deal. That's who you need to be getting behind right now. I don't see why he doesn't match up well versus Terrence Crawford. He's as big as Crawford. He's long. He would definitely be a tough out for Crawford. I think that Crawford may be too crafty for him in the end, but he would definitely come to fight. It would be a hell of a fight, man. I just wonder if you can get that done before there's a rumor, that Crawford's moving up to 54, Danny's moving to 54. So, things are shuffling around. Yeah, I know you're looking at Danny moving at 54, like, what? Yeah, I've been thinking the same thing, man. Like, I think it's crazy for him to move there, but
he's way too small. My
One
personal
Boxing
opinion.
King, thank you for the super chat. I was wondering how the super chats would look using this new software. So thank you for
Looks
that.
clean, bro. It looks very clean. Bro.
You guys want to go ahead and support us, show us you love and care about us, send over them super chats. Do me a big favor, everybody. Press that like button for all the cool stuff that we bring to you guys on just a nearly daily basis. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. One Boxing King. Ortiz will beat Crawford. Hard fight, though. Yeah, hard. I think a harder fight for Ortiz than Crawford, just because of Crawford's ability to switch stances. And I think Crawford's reach is a little longer. But I think Virgil Ortiz is a legitimate 147, even though the last time I saw Crawford in person, he looked like he was filling out a lot more. He looked a lot more solid than he did maybe about a year or even 2 years ago. But, Crawford is a hard night work for anybody in any division, just given the dude's boxing IQ, man. The guy
Terrence looked like a solid 160 when he was at the last fight last year. He looked about 155, 160, bro. To me, he did. He looked big.
I just think he's too small for that weight class for 154 for now. I don't think he's up there for 154.
Same with Danny. Danny at
yeah,
154. Well, I base it on Jermel and Rosario. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see those two in person, but if you see them in person, you think, what the F? Like, how are you, especially Jarrett Hurd, how in the hell are you guys making 154? Like, you guys look like they're 185, 190. Like, these guys are
Charlo. Have you seen Charlo's back? It's
like,
dude.
No,
hey,
but
I don't fear any of those fights for Crawford tomorrow. I don't fear any of those fights for Terrence Crawford tomorrow. Terrence Crawford will go to work on all those dudes tomorrow. No bull. And exclude the champ. I'm not saying that he would take the belts, but come on, bro. Size for size, I think that bro, you're gonna have to like the late Marvin Hagler said, I think you got to hit Crawford with the ring post, dog. For real.
I
But he
I
has been
don't
stunned
know.
once.
But the thing
He's
is,
been stunned a couple of times,
yeah,
hasn't
he
he?
has
And
with,
even
with
Stunned,
Gamboa.
but
yeah, he's been stunned, and he's kind of like
you pay a price. But you
we
pay
can
a
say
price
that he
for
has a
stunning Crawford. But
yeah,
you
but
pay when you stun Crawford, you pay for it.
yeah, you piss him off, and he comes back
You
even
pay
harder. But
for it.
so we know he has a chin. We know he has a chin. So we'll see. I mean, that's the fight we all want to see. But will Errol Spence versus Crawford happen? I mean, and to be honest with you, I don't even think those fights will happen. It's just to the politics that gets into. I mean, if Crawford leaves Bob Arum or Top Rank, he'll be more free agent. Eddie Hearn with the Hearn probably will take him up.
Oh, bro, I love this fight. Raiders. 48-21. You guys Raiders fans, by the way? I know Yair's not. Yair's a Cowboys guy. But you Raiders fan? You're Niners guy? Marcus?
Niners.
All right.
Yeah, bro.
Raiders.
What about you, Marcos?
I roll with the Niners.
He doesn't say that too proudly.
No. I like the 49ers since I was a little kid, since freaking
Joe
Steve
Montana,
Young.
Steve
No,
Young.
Steve Young, since Steve Young, so I'm not a super football guy. I'm like more of a casual guy now. When I was a teenager, I was really into it. And then, when I got into boxing, I just kind of like put all my focus in that. But Raiders, orale Raiders, 48-21. Danny should go to 140 and fight his homie AB. I actually like that fight. I think Danny versus Adrian Broner would be a pretty damn good fight.
That really would be interesting to see. That would be very interesting.
Gangsters Playground. Thank you, Marcos, for pinning our comments. Much appreciated, carnalito. For sure, doggy. It's all good. Thank you, man, for tuning in here to the live chat, everybody. Let's get some likes. More likes. NJNP, you the G. Danny needs to collect every bag and dip. He did enough already. Well, you know what? I think Danny reached stardom a lot quicker than his contemporaries, a lot quicker than Thurman, Spence, Porter. He was the most accomplished early on before all of them because they kind of threw Danny in there thinking, well, if he wins, he wins. But if not, especially I think with the Amir Khan fight.
Yep. That's the one I was about to say.
They threw him in there. I'm like, hey, you win, But
but wasn't it a last minute call for Danny Garcia? Wasn't it kind of like a last minute call that he was supposed to fight Amir Khan?
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. I think that was another fight that was earlier on in Danny's career. But yeah, no one picked Danny to win that fight. Only his family really picked him to win that fight, or a few others, just because at that point, he had already been knocked out, Amir Khan, by what's his face, Colombian. Yeah, Brady Prescott. Yeah, that had happened. A good amount of time had passed since that knockout, so we were thinking, maybe that was just a bad night for Amir, and that night was a really bad night for Amir Khan. This Fury versus Joshua fight, it's on our thumbnail. Like I mentioned, at this point, guys, and I'll take it to you, Marcus. Who you liking in the fight? Who are you favoring?
Who? Say it again.
For this Fury Joshua fight, at this point in time, who are you favoring? Who are you liking?
Still, man, I don't see any reason to think that Joshua poses a huge threat unless Joshua's boxing IQ goes up significantly. I don't see you going in there versus a focused Tyson Fury and landing a bomb to knock Tyson Fury out. He does not beat Tyson Fury on points. 116, 112 Fury, or Fury by, man, look, my boy is Cheney. He like I said before.
Hold on, I think we got the best comment of the night right here from my boy right here, Brent Boyer. Got that Uncle Joe money. He got that stimmy money. Had to share the wealth. Love the channel. Who you got, Fury or Joshua? Brent, thank you so much, bro. Let's have a little clap for Uncle Joe, all giving us the stimmy money. What are you guys using all that stimmy money for? You guys hitting up the strip clubs or what? Buying a PS4? Let us know what you guys are doing with all that stimmy money. But Marcus is answering your question right now, Brent. You don't think that Fury will complete, like it'll be a blowout? It'll be like a wider scorecard than what you think, Marcus?
For who? For Tyson Fury? No, I think 16. I think he wins somewhere around the 16-12 area. But I also feel like unless AJ changes something and is able to get in and land a bomb, I just think that he's too up and down. The way that he kind of fights, I think he'll find it hard to hit Fury, especially when Fury gets to moving his head and things. I just think that he's not a good matchup for AJ.
Jair, what's your take?
I like everything that Marcus said, and I think a lot of quotes have been said around that Tyson Fury is like one of the closest fighters, and in the way he moves in the ring, like Muhammad Ali, and I think that's a huge advantage that'd be a huge factor in beating Joshua, just because you see the way Fury moves for a big guy. We don't see that much in the heavyweight division. So I think that would be one of the key points, because Joshua, even though he can box brilliantly, we saw that against Andrew Rees in the second fight, and this most previous fight that we also saw him. I forgot the name. So I have no doubt that Fury will win all 12 rounds, or maybe late KO. So I would see that. I love Fury's background of what was happening in his life, how he came back. Obviously, the fight with Wilder, both of those fights. So I see Fury winning, and I think he will outclass him. That's just me. That's just my. But we're in a good treat. We're gonna be in a good treat whenever that fight happens, because that's all we all want to see, right?
Yo, Brent Boyer, let us know who you think wins the fight, and thank you for the super chat. My man right here, Hurricane Hank, knows what's up. This is where he's using his stimmy money. The world famous Hong Kong in the city of the future, Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. You guys know what's up if you're from this area. I'll tell you offline what Hong Kong is all about. Marcus can't enter Mexico for some strange reason that he won't disclose to me yet.
No more, homie. No more.
Man. So obviously, over the weekend we got some bad news. Marvelous Marvin Hagler passed away. Details haven't come out as to what caused his death, but obviously one of those moments. I think if you're a very ardent boxing fan, it's one of those days that you'll remember, hey, what you were doing when Marvin Hagler passed away. I remember when Ali passed away, I remember exactly what I was doing, because it was like one of those moments where it came as such a shock to you that it kind of gets imprinted, and this was the same thing, man. And I did a few radio hits over the weekend for UK radio, and I think Marvin, if you encapsulate what he was as a fighter, he was a fighter's fighter. But not only that, they don't make fighters like they used to, and that was what Marvin was, man. Like, you look at Marvin and you look at the fighters now, and you look, nah, man, there's not even any comparison. Like, they don't make them like that anymore.
Definitely not, man. Definitely not. When you talk about when I think about boxing, and I think about my father, who has transitioned on to eternity as well, bro. I can remember being a kid, man, June of '87, bro. Being with my dad and going, man, and hearing him talk about this fight that was gonna be happening, man. This fight that was gonna be happening, this fight, bro. And you're right, Mr. Boyer, it's the war, bro. You get a chance to see Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard go at it, bro. And one thing I can remember in particular, man, was just those bright red gloves, and they stuck out, man. And it's wild to, you become older, and you start to have respect for the things that a guy's accomplished in the ring and out of the ring, bro. Dude was a class act. He was the essence of a legend. He was a gentleman. Um, he was somebody that didn't chase, bro. He didn't chase it. When it didn't work out for him, he truly did it his own way. He said, "You know what? I'm out of here. I'm gone," and left and never came back. And we never saw him in that capacity again, man. And I feel for his family. I feel for his friends, the fighters that know him, and the boxing world, dog. I can't believe it. Marvin Hagler, out of
Yeah,
nowhere. Marvin
yeah,
Hagler
man.
leaves us.
He
Wow.
was he was young. He was only 66, and if you're like a newer boxing fan and you're not familiar with some of the fights that Hagler had, just
Mhm.
look him up. And to me, everybody always mentions the fight that he had with Tommy Hearns, and Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, what a fight,
Mhm.
That round one.
But to me, my favorite fight to watch was him against Mugabe. I always liked that fight a lot because I think it showed me a lot more
Unreal.
of what uh, Hagler was as a fighter. He had his fight with Sugar Ray Leonard, and it's still a um, a contested thing amongst boxing fans as to who won, which is crazy. Which means how the magnitude of that fight and the status of both fighters they've stood the test of time, both with Leonard and Hagler, as you still get people arguing over like who really won that fight. If Hagler, his pressure, or was it Leonard, in his like little short bursts that ended up getting him the rounds at the very end, So, like I mentioned, man, they don't, make guys like him anymore. And it's really like a throwback to like the golden era of boxing as well. Like we've lost a link to that era of like a lot of us grew up on it as fans,
Mhm.
but also too, just he was. If you had to construct like the perfect mindset to have as a fighter, you would base it off of how Marvin Hagler would approach fights, because the guy was super dedicated, like an intensity that honestly I've seen few people bring into the ring. And like no nonsense approach either, like no excuses. It's snowing, there's a blizzard outside, F it. I gotta train. I gotta train. I don't care. I'll layer up. I gotta go and run. There's footage of him running in the snow, just screaming, war, war, war. He wore the hat, war. He was um, just a giant, man. And I had a chance to meet him. I want to say 5 years ago, and I got very angry with myself on Saturday when this happened because I didn't have a picture, and I didn't want a picture to like post and show off to be, oh look, like I'm not like that. Like I just wanted to have a
Yeah.
picture, so that I can look back when I'm older or show my kids and be like, look, dude, I did some cool ish,
Yeah, bro.
when I was in my youth. Like I was amongst giants,
Man.
and I wanted to, look back, and it might sound lame to you guys listening, but it really hurt me. And I was like, man, you dumbass. Like what? And I had a chance too, and I didn't want to pester him for a photo because he was just getting just blitzed by people. And my best friend, who was with me at the time, who was with us with Fight Hub from the very beginning when I first started it, he got a picture with them, and I took the picture. And I was like, what the heck? Like how, and he's like, hey, you said you didn't want to take it. And I'm like, I remember now why,
Mm.
but I just remember that weekend, the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame weekend in 2015. We had a chance to sit down with Marvin and Mr. Easy Box, R.I.P. Hagler. And Mugabe had 26 knockouts going into the fight, and Hagler took that fight. That shows you the caliber of fighter
Yeah.
Hagler was, man.
Yeah.
I remember that weekend going into it, and just getting the chance to, when they told us, hey, like you guys are going to get about 15 to 20 minutes to talk to Marvin, to interview him. And I was like, no freaking way, because one, Marvin lived a lot of his time in Italy.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that. After the fight with Ray Leonard, he was so disgusted with the decision, like you mentioned, Marcus, he just flat out just stopped boxing.
I'm gone.
And he went to Italy and became a movie star. He starred in spaghetti westerns over there in Italy. So this was like a rare like occurrence that we got to speak to Marvin, and this was during the heyday of Gennady Golovkin, so we asked him about, his thoughts about Golovkin, his thoughts about boxing, what it meant to him to be here, to be embraced by the people, that the people still remembered him, and you just were just all over him, like Marvin, hit him up. It was a really cool thing. I remember when he came in, I was just like, that's him. Holy crap, that's Marvin Hagler. Like I'd only seen pictures of this guy, and like he's right there in front of him, and to have a conversation with them, and to pick his brain about the things that he liked about boxing now, the things that he didn't like about boxing. Now it was really interesting. And then I believe it was either the next day or later that day to see him all dressed up, and we're in the VIP cocktail area, and he's just getting mobbed by people there. Marvin. And usually from what I had heard, Marvin was a very private person, and Miguel Cotto's a bit like this, where, he kind of keeps to himself, and it's kind of
he
like
did that in Miami too. He was there. He was there. Like
he's an introvert,
Yeah.
But Marvin, man, let me tell you guys, smile from ear to ear. He was having the time of his life, man. It was really cool to see. Like it made me smile. It made me feel like a little kid. Like, man, like this guy's digging it. Like this means a lot to Marvin, and you could clearly see it, and he's there with his wife. He's having interactions with people, and people are telling him, "Oh, Marvin, man, I thought you won against Ray Leonard. Like, what the hell, And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And he's like, "Man, you were my hero growing up." And just hearing that from like all people from all walks of life, from all different age demographics, I was like, "Man, this is the coolest thing," And I do remember when my friend took the photo, and I'm like, you know what? Something in the back of my mind told me, you're gonna regret this. Go and ask him for a photo. And I tried to, but just so many people were swarming him, and then we had to start the induction, and I thought to myself, no, you'll get him eventually. And that's that's what popped in my mind on Saturday when I heard the news. At first, I didn't believe it.
It's unbelievable.
It seemed like kind of off. Like, okay, I'm gonna wait before we post anything or anything like that. Because I didn't know what to make of the information that was coming out. But yeah, like I kept thinking about, like, man, just for me as Marcos the fan, I'm just like, I should have taken that photo with him, because I have photos with Ray Leonard, who I adore, who was my favorite fighter growing up. I have photos with Tommy Hearns. I have photos with Duran, who is another one of my favorite fighters, growing up. And it's just like, man, I missed out on being able to share that experience with my kids or my grandkids, but also with me personally, to say, like, hey, man, I was with this dude. This dude was a legend. I stood on the shoulders of legends. So that's why I always implore people that when they see their favorite fighter, go up to him and get a photo, because you never know if that's going to be your only chance to grab a photo. Take photos with people like Bob Arum, because Bob,
tell him, bro, and talk to him and tell him. Tell him
he will talk back. He will talk back. Yeah, Bob
is a unicorn.
That was cool, dog.
Like, Bob is a rarity. There's not going to be another Bob Arum.
He's awesome. He's a cool ass dude.
Yeah,
I have a cool story that could kind of tie up with yours, Marcos, about Marvin Hagler. So here in Dallas, we have, I'm sure there's a black tie event of boxing. They're closed, and it's you know how those for charities. So one time, I started hearing more about it, and they will always have Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns comes. I actually have a picture with Tommy Hearns. I don't have a picture with Marvin Hagler, because you know why? I wanted to go more in depth about the whole time, those years when those four fighters would fight each other, because we haven't seen something like that since then. Let's be honest. So the book is titled Four Kings. I don't know if you have heard it, by George Kimball and Pete Hamill. it's called Four Kings. And I went up to Marvin Hagler and I said, look, and I wanted him to sign it, but I think Marcos, the type of person. I don't ask anybody for signatures. I have pictures, but I don't have signatures of any fighters. And I also regretted it. I was like, man, I should have asked Marvin Hagler to take a picture with my book. And I have the book. I have it right here in the living room. And then Tommy Hearns saw it. And then when I took it out again, I was like, man, I'm going to ask him to sign it. And the guy told me he's not doing signatures. So I was like, well, can I at least get a picture? He's like, yeah, that's fine. And I just snapped the picture real quick. But when Marvin Hagler saw the book, he said, hey, that's a very good book. Read it. I did you realize? Like, yeah, I'm reading it. And I enjoyed the history, everything that came up with all the fights, what happened in the background, when they were going to fights, the training camp, even talking to their trainers. So I know more about it, and I got to juice everything around that time. And I was like, now I got to learn to appreciate that a little bit more. So when I saw him, and I was like, man, like you said, Marcus, it's like I was just a kid. I was like, oh my god, like that's Marvin Hagler, and it's
a weird feeling, bro. It's a weird. It's like you're in awe, like, oh crap, like that's him. Like there he is. It's. I haven't gotten that a lot. I haven't gotten that a lot with people, but I got that. I got that way with him. I got that way with Ray Leonard the first time I interviewed him, and I got like that with Mike Tyson. When I remember the first time I interviewed Mike Tyson, I was like, holy crap, this is Mike Tyson. Like, oh my God, like this is him. I can't believe it. He's breathing on me. He's having a conversation with me. Like, what in the hell? This is Mike Tyson. But Fab Castro, they fought each other. Real kings.
Read the book. Read the book, y'all. Seriously.
That's what it's all about, man. They fought each other. And if there's something that fans and the fighters of this generation can learn from, the fighters of the past, they all fought each other, and they wanted to fight each other. They wanted to be the best. And yeah, I know the Hagler-Leonard fight took a while to happen, and it seemed like, maybe Leonard was posturing for a bit with that fight to happen, but they did eventually fight each other. And I think that's what we want to see in all our athletes, is to that they go and they seek to be great, and they go out and they grab challenges, and we want to see them rise to the occasion. So I think that wraps it up, guys. Usually we do this for an hour, but we had to touch on that, obviously. Marvin passing away. Let's get a final round of likes from all you guys. My man Paul Newman, what's up, bro? Paul Newman tuning in from over across the pond. Great tribute, guys. Michael Buffett did a great job.
What up, Paul?
What up?
So let's get a final round of likes, everybody. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, if you're just tuning in, please subscribe to the channel, man. We're getting very close to hitting that million mark, but even when we do hit that million mark, the work's not done, man. It's still a daily grind over here for us as well. Go ahead and follow us on social media at FightUpTV. You can see the ticker on the bottom as well. Jimmy Frex, I love his name, bro. Jimmy Freckles. Jimmy Freckles Jr. says now it's just business. Yeah, unfortunately. But you know what? I've Paul, the clock's changed. I missed the beginning, bro.
Yeah, they kind of.
Man. Paul, dog, spring forward. Come on, the clock's changed, bro. Where you at?
That's funny. That's funny. That's the best comment, I think. War Elmini.
War Elmini, and of course NJP. We got to say it. I was born ready.
We didn't really touch on Benavidez, dog.
Yeah, I know. He fought over the weekend. I got to go to the gym, bro. I got to work out.
Benavidez, get it up.
There, Marcus, touch on Benavidez real quick. Go.
David Benavidez, man, what can you say? You can see the reason why he is an extremely avoided guy at 68. Combination of power, speed, and newly found stamina. We really haven't seen David put it all together like that, bro. If he stays dedicated, man, you got to look out. David looks like he's getting ready to wreck shop at 68. So I'm really hoping, man, that Canelo finds him worthy of the challenge and that the fans stop saying that he's not worthy. Every guy that goes in the ring, especially with him being a two-time champ, bro, you got to put David in there with big names. David Benavidez is dangerous.
I've seen him in person to spar in the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. So he came to our gym. I think you saw it too, Marcos. And he came and I saw him spar in person, and see him in TV and in person, you're just in awe. You're like, wow. Like his defensive tactics, his sharp jab that almost feels like it's a straight right, like his power punch. My God, like when I saw him and I was like shocked. I was like, wow, the way he can perform, the way he moves in the ring for his weight and his height. I was like, man, those power punches, and then the quickness that he has all the capabilities of putting up a good fight for Canelo. So
yeah,
that's
I saw David's fight. The only thing I would say is that he is one of the guys that'll be carrying that division in the future because he's so young. He's 24. But the thing that I think his opponents are probably his future opponents are going to be looking at is Ronald Ellis landed a lot of jabs on Benavidez in that fight. Caleb Platt has a tremendous jab. These other fighters are gonna see that, hey, you know, David at times just comes forward, doesn't really move his head as much, even though I'm pretty sure that they're going to look at that and try to work on that. But they're going to see that as a potential weakness approaching a fight with the David Benavidez. But geez, David Benavidez, it's like he doesn't care. Okay, you touch me, it's not going to hurt me because you touch me once, I'm going to hit you 4 or 5 times.
I didn't really get to see it. I only got to see the highlights, so I barely got to see it. But the way he was just manhandling, I was like, my God, he looked so good. He looked better than his previous fight. And this way, he was on weight. He was dedicated. He had the whole package. So yeah, exactly. So
yes, it's going to the stratosphere, dog.
Yeah, and
talking about
I like what Salvador Martinez just said. In 1 or 2 years, David is ready for Canelo. I do believe that. I just think right now it's just a little bit early. That's just my personal opinion.
But see, the thing is now I worry, honestly, and this is what I worry about. I worry comments like that were just made. These guys are really just waiting for Canelo to run out of bounds before he gets hit hard. Like, that doesn't make me feel like they believe in him. It's time to fight Benavidez now. Everybody, it's time to fight Benavidez now. Stop bullshitting. It's time to fight. David Benavidez is the real deal.
He is. Period. There
Period.
we go. Marcus, you're ending us on that point. Everybody, thank you so much. This was the Fight Up TV weekly live chat. Let me know if you guys prefer this as opposed to the other software we were using. I know the other software we were allowing you guys to call in. I'm going to try to find a way to rectify being able, you guys calling in and being able to show this to you guys, like your guys' comments, like how NJNP just left this comment as well. You know, same with Junior. So I'm still figuring it out, guys, but let me know how you guys like it as well. As always, thank you for all your support. Keep tuning in to our content. Watch our interviews. Yair is our man on the ground this week. Leon, bro, we're going to give you a shout out. There you go. Yeah, Leon. You get a shout out. Yair will be giving us content from the Virgil Ortiz fight week this week. So go
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Go kick some ass out there, Yair. Everybody subscribe, and you guys plug yourselves, your social media, so the people on here can go ahead and follow you guys.
Mine is just JMart1018, Twitter and Instagram. It's J, letter J, Mart1018.
Mine is Peacekeeper_boxing on Instagram. Nothing special. Contact me on Fight Hub, bro. I work for Fight Hub.
Yeah.
Mark is keeping the peace.
Yeah.
Donnie Gallo, peace out. Surfs up, brah. Gonna catch some waves in peace and love. Surfs up, brah. Cowabunga. Hey, what's your TikTok? At Fight Hub. At Fight Hub TV. We have a TikTok. We have a
hater, bro.
What?
Hey, I was born to love Canelo, homie. Hey, I like Canelo. The only thing I'm saying is that, listen, I would like for the fans of Canelo to stop trying to protect Canelo, dog. Canelo don't need y'all's help, I'm telling you. Canelo's a badass dude but you got to give Benavidez. Look, if y'all don't give Benavidez a shot, you're gonna turn Benavidez ass into Clubber Lang. You're gonna turn Benavidez into Clubber Lang, dude. He gonna stop being nice. I'm telling you, pretty soon he's going to stop being nice. You don't want to piss off David Benavidez, man. Fight the boy. Let's see.
Now.
If he work, beat him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Marcus.
Now.
Mark, I'm going to allow Marcus to get the final word there. All right. Thank you guys so much. That does it. We'll be back next Monday at 5:35. Yair will give us a recap of the action firsthand from the Ortiz fight in Dallas, Texas. For myself and Team Fight Hub, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Tune in next Monday at 5:35.
Right here, bro. Go kill.
One final round of likes and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. We're out of here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Peace out, guys.
Good night. Be safe. Wear your mask.
Don't do it on me.